guys, it's Justin Kennard. Today we're gonna be making a Hatsune Miku custom doll. I decided to go with a Daphne Minton Rainbow High base doll, and I'm just gonna cut her hair off because I plan on changing her hair out later on. And you see, I ditched my scissors and started using my Gundam clippers because those other scissors were far too dull. I don't watch the Rainbow High series, but I do know that Sunny Madison would probably be a Miku stan. I just wanted to put that out there. Now I'm taking an X-Acto knife and cutting a hole in the back of the head. I thought it would make it easier to remove the hair plugs this way, and I also thought it'd make it easier to pop the eyes in from the back, because I didn't feel comfortable popping the eyes in from the front. I thought I would crack or scratch the face up, but I kind of wish I didn't do this in the end. And I take some boiling hot water to submerge the doll's head into. I do this to take the eyes out easily. Rainbow High doll heads are made out of hard vinyl, so it's best to warm the head up some way to pop the eyes out. By the way, what are some of your guys' favorite Vocaloid songs of all time? Let me know in the comments down below. Once the eyes are removed, I can remove the face with pure acetone. I then spray the face with Mr. Super Clear. Now I'm starting the face up. I'm using Moongyo soft pastels. I'm using them because Delightful used them. But if you're not planning to do like really intense makeup or fantasy skin tones and stuff, you could probably buy the individual pastels and it'd be cheaper. You just need to get the red one and the browns for natural skin. For Miku's makeup, I made it really simple. I just have a pink inner eye and then the teal on the outer side, and then I just give her like gradient lips, so no like harsh lipstick or nothing. And the colored pencils that I'm using are watercolor colored pencils, Faber-Castell colored pencils, watercolor colored pencils. Yup. Right here, look at this innovation. I'm using a vinyl masking tape meant for curves, and I thought this would be a great idea to get a really clean eyebrow and to kind of stencil them out. It worked out okay, I think, and they look pretty accurate to the Rainbow High eyebrows. My idea with the face up was I wanted her to look like Miku in the Rainbow High universe, so that's why I did the eyebrows that way. And I can't forget her little arm tattoo, so I'm painting that on right now. Now, I popped the eyes back in, but again, I wouldn't recommend cutting the hole in the back of the head because it was pretty difficult to put them back in and they would shift around, and in the end I had to glue them in place. Then I take some acrylic paint to paint over these nails because the original paint job was pretty bad. I'm also adding a satin varnish to the lips because I didn't want it to be super glossy. I will just add a disclaimer right now and say that I didn't film the whole process of me making the outfit because I did get stressed out in a few parts because the fabrics that I used were kind of difficult to work with. I will try to explain a few things about the outfit making process. The black part of the outfit is PU coated pleather, and I'm using tissue paper to give it an easier time to pass through the sewing machine. The blue parts of the outfit are a satin ribbon that I folded in half to make a piping for the hems of the sleeves and the boots. I sewed the ribbon on the right side of the pleather and then folded it back and then top stitched it on the pleather side to keep the seam clean because you can't iron this fabric, so top stitching is a great way to press the seams flat. The sleeves are basically tubes, and then the boots are socks with heels glued onto the bottom and a pump shoe with the heel cut off stuffed inside of the sock portion. The skirt is just a basic pleated skirt with the waistband being a strip of pleather fabric about 1 inch wide sewed on like bias tape at the waistband. It's the length of the doll's waist with a little bit more length to accommodate for the snap closure. Shirt is made out of a reflective silver vinyl. I drafted the pattern for the shirt using the masking tape method where you take saran wrap or tinfoil to cover the doll's body and then wrap masking tape around the curves and contours of the body where you can draw out any pattern onto it and then use that as a sewing pattern for the doll. I've just flared the bottom of the pattern out so the shirt was a bit looser at the bottom. What you see me doing right now is adding the little details to her outfit. I'm using a glossy vinyl sticker paper that I got from onlinelabels.com, and I actually tried many different materials, but this was the only one that really worked for me. I printed these out and then cut them out on my vinyl machine, and now I'm just placing them with an X-Acto knife because that was really all I had. Right here you can see a little bit of the shirt, and if you're curious to know where the lace trim is from, it's from Charlene Liu Design on Etsy. Their stuff is suitable for a doll scale, so if you're looking for miniature trims and sewing materials for dolls, I would really recommend their Etsy shop. This clear tape looking thing is transfer tape for vinyl. It's meant to place a vinyl with separated details all at once, so you don't have to place them individually. Now I have to put her all together, and honestly this was really hard to do because of how long her hair was. I just realized I never even filmed the hair process. It's because I decided to root the doll's hair in at the hairline, but since I did this after the face-up was done, it cracked the face up a little bit and I had to fix some parts, so I even debated redoing the whole thing, and in the end I decided to just keep the original head, and I might redo her face in the future. Fun fact, the gold badge on the Miku's shirt is actually from an OMG doll called Ferocious. Her military jacket had 2 badges glued onto the chest, so I just took one and used it for Miku's outfit. By the way, what are some of your guys' favorite Vocaloid producers? I picked 4: 23.exe, Mikito P, Electro Kurika, and Lemm. For the headphones, the headband is a folded piece of pleather that I pinned on the sides of her head. The actual headphones themselves are cardboard that I cut out on the Cricut machine and glued and painted together. The microphone is a coated black wire with a glass bead glued onto the end and painted to match. Feel free to tell me some of your guys' favorite Hatsune Miku designs. My favorite's probably Breathe With You. I glued earrings on the inside of the headphones so that they can stay on her ears. While you watch me struggle put these pigtail things on, I will just explain what they're made out of. They're actually made out of those clear binder dividers that I'm sure a lot of us had in school. The black details are just painted on, and As you can see, I had a lot of trouble putting them on because of how long her hair was. But once I got these on, she was completely done and we could see the final result. Well, once I get these on, we could see the final result. By the way, the hair is from shimmeringlocks.com. It's the shade Cupcake Aqua, I'm pretty sure. And I actually ordered 2 other hair colors, and this is the best match for Miku, I thought. Here's the comparison between my custom Miku and the official pull-up release. I took inspiration from the pull-up and I just wanted to show the comparison between the two. Thank you guys so much for watching. I would love it if you could subscribe. I plan on releasing more doll content, more custom dolls, specifically pull-up and also Rainbow High, so if you're interested, go ahead and subscribe.